Hey guys, and welcome back to this channel. For the new viewers, this channel is about new dad advice, both from myself and other people, to learn together. But the main thing is to let you know that you're not on your own. We are in this together. I'm Nick Albrook, this is Grow Up Daddy. I hope you enjoy the episode. So this week's topic is my fears of fatherhood. Now, fear isn't something that I like to talk about because I always like to be positive. But I lay in bed one night, I couldn't sleep.
Hey guys, it's actually 1:30 in the morning here now. I've been having a chat with a good friend of mine. One of the things I was talking to him about is actually feeling real when I do my videos. I don't think that's always come across. I think I've tried to be maybe at times a little bit perfect, and that kind of me off a little bit, because one of the things that I wanted to do is make sure that my videos are true, they're truthful, they're accurate, they're me. Anyone who knows me knows I'm quite opinionated. Don't ask me a question if you don't want my opinion. I think my videos have been a little bit, shall we say, vanilla. I'm not saying I'm going to make videos that have got to be really confrontational, really opinionated, but what I do want to do is give you my true self. I've got my fears. I don't want to just give you nice, back to bed. Sol's in bed right now, so hopefully I've not woken her up, otherwise you will see real.
The next day I got a phone call from one of my work friends. She was worried about doing the COVID test. She said, "How do you always stay positive? Why do you not worry about anything?" And that got me thinking, what do I worry about? So I sat down with my wife that night and we had a really long chat. And I talked about my fears and about my worries, and she's the one who actually said to me, this would make an interesting subject and something that I think a lot of people are probably going through. Now, I'll put a little message out there on Instagram to find out what other fathers are feeling at the moment. What are their fears? And I got a really good feedback from that. Now, here's a quick question for you. When was the last time you sat down with your partner to discuss your fears, your worries, your stresses, your concerns? Now, if you don't want to do that, I understand that, because maybe you don't want to burden them with your pressures because they're pregnant at the end of the day. But speak to a friend. If you don't want to speak to one of your friends, speak to me. Here are my Instagram details. Here's my Facebook details. Drop me a message. I'll be more than happy to speak to you at any time. All I'm asking is that you talk to somebody. Get it off your chest. In the UK, I believe there's been a 200% increase in the number of suicides over the COVID period. I did look into this figure. The 200% isn't quite fact-checked, but there has been a huge increase in the number of suicides both in the UK and worldwide. So why are we not talking about it more? Here's a little request. Please share the video. Please subscribe to the channel, because if it doesn't help you, maybe it'll help somebody else. Maybe it'll help somebody else before it's too late. With that being said, if I'm going to do this, I need to open up to you. So these are my fears of fatherhood. So now I'm going to talk to you about my fears of fatherhood. The biggest thing for me is my wife and my baby's health. I'm not talking about just at the pregnancy, I'm talking about in the future as well. We actually created a birth plan. Now for me, take that birth plan, store it up in your mind, rip it up, because pregnancy is unpredictable. Everybody who's gone through it is telling me the same thing. Yes, you want to have a guide. All I care about is my wife, my baby being healthy. Funny thing is, when you go on Facebook and you see that generic message that comes through, wife and baby doing well, I never really understood that. I always thought, why don't you put something cool? Why don't you put something funny? Why don't you put something interesting? But until you're going through it, I don't think you actually realise how important it is just to have your wife and baby healthy. Now, I got contacted by a good friend of mine, and she asked me to talk about Child Cancer Awareness Month, and that's coming up in the next video, which is in September. So when you hear some of the stories, like I said, let me talk about that next week, because this is a whole new level. From the feedback that I got, one of the biggest concerns is financial support. Now, we all worry. I'm going to ask you a quick question, in fact. Am I wrong in today's day and age to think of myself that I'm the man, I should go out there and I should be able to provide for my family? Now, I'm not taking anything away from women before anyone starts getting funny with me. Yes, I know women go out, in most cases, can earn far more money than the fella. But It's just who I am as a person. It does concern you. Can we afford it? Actually, I'm thinking about it. This shirt, so just to give you a bit of knowledge about my life, I'm not bothered about prized possessions. I've had this shirt for probably about 4, 5, maybe even 6 years. I don't care. The things that I value are experiences. I love to go traveling, my wife loves to go traveling, but you still want to be able to provide everything for your child. I was lucky growing up. We weren't rich, we weren't poor. What I'd say is we never went without. We certainly weren't spoiled. Now, it makes you always think to yourself, I always remember my mum and my dad saying this, they want to provide, I think it's a parent's instinct to provide more than what they had as children. And I'm no different. Again, what are your thoughts on this? Worldwide, we're facing some really tough times at the moment. I'm not even going to go into COVID because I don't believe all this nonsense. The UK, for example, has announced the worst recession in a long time. This is going to impact you, it's going to impact your friends. I'm going to talk about baby products in another video, and I'm going to try and show you ways in which you may be able to save some money. Now, if you've got the type of friends that you need to impress and buy the biggest, best things, then what I'd say to you is ditch the friends. So that brings me to my next subject, which is time management. I don't want to miss out on anything. I don't want to miss out on my baby's first words. I don't want to miss out on my baby crawling. I don't want to miss out on their first baby steps. I want to be there for everything. Now, it goes back to what I was talking about before. In my childhood, my parents were always there for us. My dad, for example, I don't think he ever missed a football match of ours. That worries me in a way. Can I do the same for my kids? I think we're having a little girl. So in my mind, she's got to become a tennis star. Am I got to be able to get to the classes after work? Am I got to be there on the weekend? I always in my mind want to be, but it worries me. It does concern me. The next one I want to talk about is being selfish. Look, my wife and I, we've got a good life here. We go to brunches, we go out when we want, we go on holiday when we want, we go and visit friends, family when we want. Is that got to be taken away from us? Now, we had a really good chat, like I said before, and we talked about what our plans are for the future. Now, some of you laugh at this because we want to maintain our life as much as possible. We want to go to brunches, we want to go for dinners, we want to go on holidays. One of the biggest things that we want to teach our children is travel. We've already actually started planning our holidays. We're not the type of couple that do that. Last holiday we went to the airport and we decided whilst we were at the airport where we were going. We like that spontaneity. We actually got our diaries out and we planned our holidays for the next year. So maybe, just maybe, I'm starting to grow up a little bit. I guess this brings me on to my next subject, which is my dreams. Now, I've always been a bit of a dreamer, but now that I've got a baby on the way, my dreams have already started to change. And look, one of my favourite programmes on TV was Grand Designs. Now all I can think about is building a big house for my family, for my children, and they're my dreams now. Are we right to be bringing a child into the world right now? And I'm sure you as a parent have probably asked yourself the same question. All the wars that are going on. Now, wars aren't a new thing. Recession, we're in the worst time. I don't really want to talk about it, but I have to because it is one of my fears. And that's child abuse. Now, if someone touched my kid, I would, I know on YouTube they block certain things, so I can't really threaten people, I can't really do anything like that. I don't really know how to word this one, because it's not a fear as such, but more a feeling of guilt. Are we doing the right thing being in Dubai, away from our friends and family? Yes, we've got some very good friends here, but it's not quite the same as being around your family. Now, certainly on my wife's side, are we depriving our child of that family time, that family connection where you can only see each other maybe once a year, maybe twice a year? Now, one of the things that I'm so happy about is my wife's mum. She's got to be coming out as soon as the baby's born, and she's got to have that bonding experience. Now, this video has probably gone on a little bit longer than I expected, but I wanted to open up, and I have done. But I'll give you my final fear, shall we say, and that's not living up to expectation. Now, I've always been told that one day you've got to be a great dad. Yes, I do think I'm going to be a great dad. I'm not being big-headed when I say that, by the way, but I do think I'll be a great dad. But that's the expectation that's always been put on me. It's a lot of pressure in a way. Again, like I talked about before, I had a great childhood, so I've got that benchmark to live up to. I currently live in a 1-bedroom apartment. That's because we chose to do that, and we'll move. But I want to give my kid better than I had, as every parent does. Guys, what are yours? Tell me, because I think I've opened up to you guys this week, and I'd like to hear your feedback. Send me a direct message if need be, or put it in the comments below on YouTube for any new subscribers if I don't know you that well. I'd love to hear from you. I think next week I need to do a bit more of an upbeat video, but I wanted to share that with you. I wanted you to know my fears, so maybe it helps somebody out there. I think this is the video that I actually want you to share more than any video I've done. So please guys, it might not help you, but it might help one of your friends. It might help somebody in your friends group that you don't even know needs the help. So guys, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. I know I ask it every week, but please, it's important. It takes a long time to do these videos, all the editing. Look, I stutter every bloody word. So hopefully, take your time to support me as well. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next week.